What's up, what's good, y'all? It's your girl Glow from amumslove.com, and on today's episode on the GlowuP podcast, we are going to unpack a topic that I've been longing to talk about. Friendship, child. Friendship is a topic with many layers, and today we are going to unveil those layers with my good friend, Q. She is my college friend, and being as though that we have decided as a collective to rekindle a relationship, we are both in such a better place in our life that we both agreed that this would be a perfect time to get together, and why not do a topic with my girl about friendship. As y'all know, we're gonna talk about it on the GlowuP. The real, the raw, and the true. Always. Period. So without further ado, we're going to start off with a definition of the word friend. So friend is a person whom one knows as having a bond with of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. So that is the Google definition of the word friend. And I'm going to ask my girl, do you agree, disagree? What's your thoughts on the word friend?
I think when we look at the definition that you just read, we should definitely zoom in on the word mutual.
Right.
That word is extremely important in that definition.
I agree.
Sometimes I think we find ourselves calling people friends, but we're putting in way more than what they're pouring into us. And to me, that's not a friend, which is why, hints on hints, we need to really zoom in on the word mutual.
Yeah, I agree. I can definitely agree with understanding that mutual friendships in your relationships, like, so the topic is friendships and friends. But in your relationships as a whole, when you are in a growing space, like, you want to feel like you're being reciprocated. The way that you're handling your friends, the way that, you know, you're upholding your friends is very essential. And feeling like you have like a meaningful friendship, right? Because you can have a friendship and maybe someone in their space in their life, they're not able to meet you where you're at or like reciprocate whatever it is that you're putting out, but we have to like know our friends, right? So with knowing your friends, it's like understanding that people aren't always going to be able to meet you halfway, and people aren't going to be like, you have friends that are for some things and friends that are for others, right? But the importance is like knowing yourself and like knowing what type of friends you need and where, you know, you can use these type of friends.
Right, and that was a good point by stating that people will not always meet you halfway, because sometimes you won't be down. Sometimes, and I'm not talking about money-wise, I'm talking about in general, sometimes you may be feeling down. You might not be yourself or you're not in that area, and I feel like a real friendship go 80 if you at 20.
Right.
And if they go in 20, you should go 80.
Right.
And then y'all had the best of times when y'all 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But overall, a true friend is somebody who's willing to go 80 when you at your 20.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a part of just like understanding like who you are willing to share that connection with, because in life, like, you come to the realization that every relationship is going to require work and it's going to require true commitment on both behalves. So, you know, being as though that we're talking about friends and friendships, it's like, you know, for some people may think that their relationship with their man or their mom or their cousin is that much more important than the other. And in reality, like, your relationships across the board need to all be met with respect, and you have to meet people where they're at and be willing to put in work when you are, you know, going through these spaces in your life. One of the topics that we decided to break this podcast episode into was no new friends. And no new friends can mean a lot of different things. But in essence, for me, I would feel like that term is thrown around because we're so used to dealing with people for long periods of time, and we're afraid to move outside of our comfort zone.
Yes, I agree. When I was younger, I definitely was no new friends. You know, these is the B's, excuse my language, that you know.
We can curse on here. This is the Glow Up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to be professional.
Say that shit.
You know, that was the bitches that I grew up with.
That part. There she go. Listen, let her know, Glow Gang. The real, the raw. This is how we coming.
So, you know, so no shade. But what I'm saying is I was definitely the type of person that said no new friends. Like, it was hard for me to go into a different environment and even take on new friends because I always had in my mind, like, these is my girls and that's it and that's all I need. But as I got older, I really started realizing that new friends is not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, new friends is the reason why you grow. Is the reason why you enter different spaces that you weren't in
that part
before.
Mm-hmm. So, and new friends kind of like pick your perspective, right? Like, because you're able to get outside your comfort zone and unveil like a different level of yourself, like a different level of maturity, a different level of, I don't know, sexy, a different level of fun. Is it like you are able to like peel back like different levels of yourself that you would have never been able to do if you were still stuck with those same people and those same like cycles, right?
Right. And then that goes into categorizing. So knowing how to categorize your friends and realizing this group of friends, they like to go out every single weekend and they don't have kids and they all single. And then realizing this group of friends, we all have kids. We like doing family time. We like going to the park with our kids all together. Mm-hmm. We like doing
that is my mom friends. That's my mom friends. Shout out to my mom friends.
So you got your mom friends, you got your party friends, you may have your uplifting friends in a professional way. Mm-hmm. It's just different. You gotta realize that everybody not on the same type of time that you're on. So
with that, like, I wonder, or you know, I want to ask, like, when you have those friends that are on your same type time, like, how do you handle them? Like, are you open to have those codependent friends? Are you open to have those people around you that probably aren't on that same accord? How do you decipher a friend that you're not willing to put that energy and time into versus the time that you are a friend that you are?
First off, I think we all grown, and I think that we all have different shit going on in our lives.
Right.
And I started realizing that if you call one of your friends and be like, I'm trying to go out tonight, and they say, girl, I'm not going out tonight, and they constantly say that over and over and over again, there's no reason to be mad at that person or to cut that person completely off because they just not trying to go out because you trying to go out or whatever type of time you're trying to be on. I think it's more so just creating space and realizing like, well, she don't want to go out. She probably got a million things going on right now. She probably trying to make money, be a mom, and do whatever. But we'll revisit our relationship when we can.
Mm-hmm. And like we spoke a little bit off air about transparency, like, and you have to be able to be transparent with your friends. Like something that you mentioned that triggered this thought was, you know, what if she's like making money, or what if this is the reason why? Like, as my friend, like, I don't never want you to feel like you can't tell me what's really going on. Like, I want you to be able to be open enough with me to say, like, listen, Glow, like, you know, I'm not in a place right now where I can spend that type of money, or I'm not in a space right now where I want to be around people. Like, I feel like that's something that is overlooked often. Like, being transparent, like, with people that you call your friends is so important. If I can't talk to you about my drama and feel like you're not going to judge me or go talk shit about me to the next person, I can't really consider you a friend. Like, and I have to know that for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in this space that I'm in my life, like, I don't have room to second guess if you're really my friend or not. Like, I'm going through so many things as mom, as woman, as person. We trying to buy houses. We trying to make moves in our life, start businesses. Like, I don't have time to question the people that are around me. And it's like, no bad blood and no shade, but like if I can't come to you in a moment where I really need a friend, like I can't consider you a friend. Like, and I think that when people are in these spaces of their life, they lose sight of the transparency that they need to have with people that they call their friends. You can't be transparent with somebody. Is that person really your friend?
Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember the quote word for word, but it was something I seen on Instagram where they basically said, you realize who your true friends are through your most happiest times and through your most saddest times, like through trauma and trials and tribulations. That's when you realize who your real friends are. People that lost parents, lost kids, lost grandparents, lost jobs, all types of stuff. Who was around during that time? Right. People got engaged.
Congratulations! I wasn't around, but I'm here for it. I'm here now. And that's all that matters.
You know, and not even just that. They graduate college, graduate school, graduate from a program. They adopt a new career, a new source of income. Who was there for you during those times? Who was like, damn girl, that's what's up. Is it anything you need? Do you need me to bring the batteries for the camera? I don't care, like, if you get what I'm trying to say, it don't matter. Right. Support is on all different types of levels.
Right.
I'm not saying give me $1 million. We all grown. I'm not asking for the most. Right. Like, you know what I mean?
Something as simple as a listening ear. Something as simple as, listen, let me take the baby for a little bit. Let me come. You don't feel comfortable with me taking the baby. Let me come wash your dishes, wash your clothes. Like, you know, something that I learned, like with my second child, was that it's okay to ask for help. Like, and I want to be around people that I don't feel weird asking for help. Like, I don't feel uncomfortable to ask or to let somebody know that I need help. Like, I learned that through my journey. Like, you learn that through life, and you learn that as you grow. Like, you want to keep those relationships that you don't have to, like, show up as your false self. Like, we got enough with trying to show up as somebody that we're not in the world alone, corporate world, work. You gotta show up to work with a fucking smile every day. You gotta show up, you know,
you gotta be a mom.
Listen, when you having the hardest day ever, like, and you know, you having the worst day that you could have had, when you get them kids, you gotta act like everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things. Like, I need to show up as my false self for. Like, I should never have to do that when I come to my friends. Like, you know, something that we mentioned earlier was spaces. Like, I can respect the spaces that you're in, but I need you to respect my space as well. And we go back to that reciprocity. That's the word, right? Reciprocity. So, you know, it goes back to that. You want to reciprocate, mutual. Like, you want to be mutual with somebody. Like, and if you can't meet somebody on a mutual level, let's just give an example, money. If I can give you money and right now you can't give me money, meet me halfway somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't always have to be money. That was just an example. But I'm saying, like, if you can't meet somebody where they're at with the same gesture in return, like, find somewhere else where you can fill that shoe. Like, you know what I mean? And it's important to understand that, because we'll do backflips for our man. We'll do backflips for our niggas. Like, we'll do backflips for, you know, if you're a man. For your friend, you moving mountains. Are you moving the same way for your partner? Because the glow up is for everybody. This isn't just geared to women. Obviously, I'm a woman, so I can speak from a woman's perspective. But as a man too, like, you know, like, the way you will move for your friends and for your niggas, are you moving that way for your girlfriend? Like, for your wife, for your woman, for your home? And you know, like, we'll get lost in that. Like, so finding the balance in your relationships and understanding that these relationships all across the board are just as essential as the other. Our next topic was talking about balance and being able to balance your relationships with your man and your friends. Again, we're speaking from women perspectives, but it can be applied either way.
All right, so on balance, I mean, all of us comes to a point where we find a man in our lives, right? Or a woman, for the men that's watching out there. And we definitely be in a lovey-dovey phase. Like, that's everybody. Like,
what's it called? The honeymoon phase.
The honeymoon phase, where I'm under you 24/7. Can't nobody call me. Don't call me because I'm booed up.
Well, mommy,
okay. But I do think that we should all realize that when we get like that, our friends still deserve support.
Mm-hmm.
You should not just completely throw your friends and whatever else you got going on out the window for your significant other. You shouldn't have to choose.
Right.
It should be like, these are my friends and this is my man, and my man love me, my friends love me. Mm-hmm. So we all gonna come together no matter what. But it's always gonna be a mutual understanding, back to the word mutual, that this is my man and these are my friends. Yeah,
so I feel like even with just that, like, it's difficult sometimes for people. We gonna go back to spaces. Like, some people are not able to genuinely be happy for where you are in the space of your life. And, you know, again, it's okay to meet people where they're at, but you need to meet me where I'm at. If you're my friend, you're going to be genuinely happy for me, and it's going to show. Like, I'm not going to have to question if you're happy for me, but your actions will very much unveil how you feeling. And it's like, it's the sad truth that we have to be so harsh with expressing how we feel when it comes to, you know, somebody not being genuinely happy for you. Like, does that make them a hater? Like, does that make them some, like...
So, I think it definitely depends on the nigga. So this is my...
What, if he get money or what?
No, so this is my outlook on this. If he is a good man your friend, he not hitting her, he not beating up on her, he not mentally abusing her, she's satisfied, she's happy, she's well taken care of. If you start acting shady at that point, or you just completely go ghost, or you like not around, or you not being supportive, I think you a hater.
That's safe to say.
Like,
because for what reason did you have to like dip and disappear?
Because I'm happy, I guess.
Right.
So because you happy, that friend chose to say she happy with a man, I can't support that. That's how I look at it. I look at it.
So you can't even call that a friend.
It's not your friend.
Jealousy. And it sucks because, like, instead of being transparent, like, are you a hater? Like, if you not, you know, happy for your friend and they in a good space, like.
I feel like it depends on the nigga. So, are we back to that?
I don't know what
it's not. So, I think it depends on the nigga. And this is what I mean. If your friend all of a sudden act like she don't support what you got going on, she not really feeling it, she going ghost, you know she'll usually call you by now and you haven't heard from her, other things in that nature. If your friends start acting like that and you got a good man, a man that's not beating on you, not cursing you out, not giving you no problems, no drama, you satisfied, you as happy as can be, then I think that's a hater at that point. Because you're not being supportive. You just acting that way because you see that I'm happy. And that's fucked up. So at that point, I gotta call you a hater.
Yeah, and I can agree. with that because ain't no real reason why you decided to disappear on my rising. Like, you know, it's I'm on the up and up and you gonna dip. Like, you know, so I can definitely agree with that thought process. We always seem to go back to spaces though. So like, you know, it's really difficult to understand somebody's space when they're not being transparent. Like, you can know your friends and you can know they've been through some fuck shit and been in some really bad spaces of their life. Like, so you may avoid like celebrating your biggest wins because you don't want to rub it in their face, or you know that they may not be in a space where they can genuinely be happy for you. But it's like, why do I have to dim my light to make you feel better?
And that's where I'm gonna go. I don't think that you should ever feel like you can't go to the group chat and be like, I just got a promotion.
Yeah.
I feel like you should feel like I can't wait to tell my girlfriend that I got a promotion.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Right, because I know that them bitches gonna throw me a party. Right? Like, that's how it should be. It should be like, I can't wait to tell my girlfriends, because I know they're gonna be so happy for me. They're gonna be more happy for me than I'm happy right now.
Yeah.
So definitely when it comes to expectations, I feel as though we do have to think about, again, that we're all grown. We all got stuff going on. Somebody might not feel like being happy at the same time that I'm happy. So sometimes we do have to think about that. But at the same time, I expect my friends to be happy for me if I'm happy. And I expect them to expect the same thing from me. Like, I don't want to be the one. It's not all about me.
Right.
It's about all of our successes. It's about all of our goals. It's about if I achieve something and you try to do it, now I'm going to put you on, and now you're going to be where I'm at. Like, we should all want the same for each other. We should all expect the same things from each other. And I think we can also go back to communication and saying, like, damn, I got promoted, but I feel like you wasn't really, like, around. Like, what you are, you cool, what's going on? Communication is also another big factor in all of this.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Communication definitely should have been a point that we mentioned initially, because when you talk about transparency, like, that is just surface level when it comes to being able to communicate effectively with people. And it's not always easy to express certain things. And, you know, it might be something within yourself or something within ourselves that makes it difficult to express certain things. Like, let's be honest, like, you know, if I'm having shitty luck with my man and niggas or whatever, like, and you getting married and whatnot, like, it can be really easy for me to feel some type of way that you're living in, you know, something that I would like. You know what I mean? But how, as a friend, am I supposed to be like, oh, bitch, like, you know, I'm a little upset that I'm not where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so let's be honest. Like, it's not easy to always come to your friend and have those types of conversations. Like, but at the same time, like, being as though that we're friends, like, I should know where you're at in your journey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and another thing is approaching it a different way yourself. Like, instead of you approaching it as, oh, she getting married and I'm dealing with these fucked up niggas, I'm not where she at, I can't really celebrate with her right now. I think you should take it as, wow, look at my girl. Mm-hmm. She getting married. She got a promotion. She got a new house. She making over 6 figures. She making 7 figures, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't wait
till it's my turn.
I can't wait till it's my turn. And I'm so happy to see my friend get to experience that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a friend.
Yeah, and you know, going into a little bit of spirituality, like, something that I've learned through my spirituality is, like, when God is in the neighborhood, he coming around. He coming through.
He's sweeping everything up.
Listen, he's coming. Like, and it's like, you have to be open and willing to accept certain things. Like, the Lord only gonna place things in your life and in your purpose. Everything that's for you is already out there. So if you're not attracting or you're not in a space where you are receiving the things that you would like, then there's adjustments that you need to make. And, you know, going a little off topic, you know, when you find yourself struggling with the successes of those people around you, instead of looking at them as a competition, use them as a mold. Use them as inspiration and like a guide. Like, you know, like, not to say, oh, I'm admiring you, I want to be like you, but
use them as a cheat code.
Yeah,
they got the blueprint, right, because they there.
Right.
So now I should be able to tap into my friend and say, what did you do to own that house?
Yep.
What did you do to start that business?
And as your friend, like, I'm gonna give you the tea because I want you to do well just as well as I'm doing. Like, and it's like, it sucks that there aren't more relationships like that in the world because people don't want to extend their hand, and people don't want to, give people the cheat codes. Like, and it's like, those are not good friends. Those are not people that you should want to surround yourself with, because in life, you want to be around people that, personally, for me, I want to be around people that's doing better than me. I want to be around people that are in places that I want to be, because I need to learn where and how you got to where you got to, because that's where I aspire to be. Now, I'm very much give people their flowers when it's due. And that is the quality that I have learned to have. I haven't always been able to, be genuinely happy for somebody that's doing better for me, because naturally as humans, like, damn, well, how the fuck she get there? Like, you know what I mean? How the fuck she doing that? Like, and I'm being transparent and being honest. And I'm sure if you're looking at this, you probably have a moment or two of transparency or a G check for yourself. Like, damn, I've been that girl. I've been that hater a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have had those moments in our life, because we live in spaces. We live in spaces, and every space isn't a good space, but you should always use those spaces as learning experiences.
And then I know you touched on God. I mean, I don't want to get too spiritual. I mean, we is drinking mimosas, but
the Lord gave it to us. God gave it to us.
But I honestly think that at the end of the day, God wrote out all of our stories. Your time is your time.
Right.
You're not going to own the house at the same time. If it's a group of 10 friends, all of y'all not getting the house at the same time.
Right.
All of y'all not getting married at the same time.
Right.
All of y'all not opening a business at the same time. So it's also about just realizing, again, like, putting jealousy to the side. If that's really your friend, you should never be jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Never. You should never be jealous. There's no room for jealousy in friendship.
Right.
At all. And then another thing, going back to God, it's times where sometimes you might question, like, damn, this is one of the happiest moments of my life. Blessings really flowing in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where so-and-so at. Like, that was my girl.
Mm-hmm.
God removed people for a reason.
For sure.
And
For sure.
I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but child, we could go all day on that one.
No, I definitely feel that, like, God be making space for the people that's supposed to be in your life. And there's no way that you can, certain relationships not worth rekindling. Whether it is relationships, we're just gonna say relationships, no matter what. Like, if something is draining you, if something or somebody already showed you who they were once, there's no need to revisit that. You can miss somebody and you can love somebody from a distance, and that probably be the best motherfucking thing you do for somebody. Because something that you mentioned was jealousy. Like, and jealousy, evil energy, I believe in those entities 100%. And people can unknowingly bring or send bad juju your way, and you don't even know. You wouldn't even know.
So at the whole time, when you with them people, it don't be no wind blowing. Don't nothing come your way. No blessings is coming through. You in the same spot, and you been in that same spot since you been around them people.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as you let God do His work and sit back and just work on yourself and let God talk to God and see what He want, He removes certain people right out of your circle. He removes them right away from you. As soon as you accept that positioning is when you start seeing all of these good things start to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's when you know, like, what's for you is for you, and what isn't, like, is wanna run its course, like, and self-destruct or whatever it is that you want to call it. Going back to, like, being like in bad spaces of your life, like, I feel like when you are in those moments, you have to take inventory of the people that surround you for those moments. And you will really notice that some people really thrive off of your downfalls and thrive off of those moments where you're not succeeding or not in the best phases of your life. And you really need to take stock and really realize like those type of people. And sometimes like it's the people that you would never imagine, the people that you would never want to consider to be a hater or to be, you know, on the fence about you. Like,
it's them people where you be like, I got a promotion, and they be like, oh, that's what's up. But you call them and be like, bitch, I got fired. And they be like, what?
yes.
You did not get fired. Mm-hmm. They give you the most energy.
Well, what happened? What happened? What you do?
They give you the most energy when shit going wrong. Mm-hmm. But when shit going right, they like,
real standoffish.
Like, yeah. But when shit go wrong, they be like, hello.
No, for real. No, for real. And it's like, it's so funny when you are in a space to be awakened. You're in a space where you're like really getting with yourself and learning yourself. That's the only time that you really notice these things. Like when I got time to take inventory of the people that's in my life, you know I'm working on myself. Like plenty of times you've been in situations and you don't even realize it, and it's right in your face. Like how many times have you been in those situations that it's like you got something negative going on and somebody is all ears? You know what I'm saying? Talking about that, you know, like being a codependent friend, like living in those moments where you aren't in the best spaces of your life. Like, you know, sometimes you can be that codependent friend and you have to be able to realize that. And that goes back to transparency and communication. I have been in times in my life where I'm like, bitch, I know we're talking about this for the 10th time, but I need a good cry. I know that, you know, you want better for me and I know what to do. I know what to do already, but just give me a minute, like, to get it off my chest. Like, I need people around me that's gonna be like, girl, come on. Like, just get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like somebody who makes me feel like I can't be my truest version of myself, or that you're gonna judge me for being in the same spot for the 10th, 15th, 20th time. Right? Like, I can't like wrap my mind around the times that I've been in predicaments where I feel embarrassed to discuss certain things with a certain friend or with a certain family member, whatever, because I feel like they're gonna judge me or they're like gonna, you know, thrive off of my hardships, right? So, you know, let's talk about letting those things go. Like, you talked about God removing people, but like, how do you detach from those people? Because those essentially will be people that you never thought had that type of malicious, you know, feeling towards you.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna say it's sad to say everybody different, but I'm the type of person, it definitely is gonna take me some time to catch on to the fact that this relationship is not mutual. So back to the mutual thing. Mm-hmm. It takes me some time to realize that, because naturally I'm really a hard lover. Like, once I consider somebody my friend, you're my friend. I love you. I'm going to keep doing everything that I've been doing, even if you lacking. But once I catch on, I be out real fast.
Do you have that conversation?
I think no. So no. I don't think I really ever sat down with somebody and was like, I'm about to stop being your friend.
But we're talking about communication.
And that's one of my downfalls. That is one of my downfalls. I don't think that I've ever sat down and was like, you know what, bitch? I don't like how you treated me. I'm out. I was just out. And that may be wrong. That may be where I have room to grow. But at the same time, going back to we are adults. If I got a new job, if I had a baby, if I got married, if I opened a new business, I think it's common sense today that your real friend would be happy for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like as adults, we should know how to recognize the people that's not happy for you.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, I don't think there's really no more conversations to have. Once you realize that that person is not for you.
And we just touching surface level, like somebody being happy for you.
Right.
Like,
And sorry, not to
go ahead, you good.
But another thing is, and I don't even think it should be bad blood with those people.
Right.
I just think it's more so like, we not in the same space right now. You wasn't happy for me when I did this, and that. You wasn't around when I lost my puppy. Like, I don't know, I'm just trying to make stuff up, but I don't even have bad blood with those people that I did ever cut off, like, out of my life in the past. If I see you, it's still hello. Even if I seen you accomplish something on Instagram, I may still say that's what's up, congratulations. I don't have no bad blood with them people. I think you just need to be an adult and realize who is for you is for you. Who's not for you is just not for you.
Right. And sometimes, you know, it's even when you are in like trying to decipher who is for you and who isn't for you, like that's hard because you can trick yourself into thinking that somebody really is supposed to be a part of your life and the whole time like they're not. Like anybody that has ever made me feel like I was in competition with them, anybody that ever made me feel like they were better than me, anybody that ever made me feel uncomfortable with any things that I have had going on in my life, like I really look back and think like they're not a part of my life currently, and it's like I don't feel bad about the choices that I made or the decision that I made to, you know, not continue a relationship, and that has a lot to do with just knowing what you want and knowing what direction you're moving in and what is for you. Like Lakira said, you know, what is for you is for you, and it's not going to be forced. It's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be hard. Like it's going to require work, which that means, you know, how she said, sometimes your friend might be moving at a 20, you might have to put in the 80. I might have to put in the 80. If I'm putting in 80, you know, and you can only put in the other 20, like I'm gonna meet you where you at. But when I'm only able to put in 20, are you able to put in that 80?
Right.
And a lot of times, you know, we get lost and things get misconstrued because we get so caught up in our own lives. But one thing that I can respect is somebody who is able to take accountability and is able to be like, I know I'm not in the best space in my life, but this is how I'm able to show up. And it's up to you whether or not you want to accept those type of relationships. And if you aren't in the space to accept that relationship, that's okay as well. But something that I can respect is somebody who comes forward and is transparent and is able to receive and is able to take accountability, because that makes it that much easier for me to understand where you're at and meet you where you're at. If I'm not able to meet you where you're at, we're going to have to revisit this at another time. And I'm okay with that. But that's a part of being an adult, being mature, and understanding that people are in different spaces. Relationships require work, and it's up to you what you have energy for in your life. If I have a codependent friend that's bringing me down, that's making me feel like I'm wasting my energy, wasting my breath, wasting my time, we keep revisiting the same things, I am going to be open enough to say, okay, listen, right now in my life, I got too much going on. I love you. I care about you. You need to figure this out, and we need to revisit this friendship at another time. I'm never just going to open-handedly leave somebody that I care about second guessing or questioning my integrity as a friend. I'm not the best friend in the world. Like, I don't reach out to my friends all the time. My communication sucks from time to time. And if you my friend and you watching this and you know, and then you know, I'll be all over the place from time to time. I'm a mom of two. Like, I got a lot of shit going on. And I'm not about to list all the things that I have going on because, you know, that'll be me, what's that called? Justifying my, you know, way of upholding my friends. But my friends know the type of friend that I am. And it's like, I have friends that are understanding of it and have other friends that are like, bitch, like I talk to you once a month and I'm cool with that. Like, cause you be drawn. Like, and that's okay. Like, that's okay because I respect somebody enough to know what type of friend I am and to acknowledge what they need to do to better handle me or to show up better for me or to show up better for themselves, for that matter. I respect that versus somebody that like might be burnt the fuck out with me and go talk shit about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather somebody be honest with me than to like make me feel like they're more, I don't know, of importance than me or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I have feelings. We all have feelings. We all go through things in our life. But as far as upkeeping friendships, I think that the most important thing is communication, keeping transparent relationships, being honest with yourself, knowing what you want, and being honest with your friends. Like, if I'm gonna show up for you and you my friend, I'm gonna keep it a being what you want. Even though you might not like it, even though it might hurt your feelings, even though you might not be open to what I'm saying right now, I'm gonna tell you like it is. And nobody can never say that I was misleading. Nobody can never say that they didn't know I was feeling this way. Like, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Anything like else that you want to like elaborate on about that?
No, I think you really got it. And the end point is really knowing yourself, knowing what space you in, knowing what vibe you in, knowing what friendship you want, knowing what part that you're in and what part you're not in, what you into, what you're not into, what's for you, what's not for you. Kind of gotta know yourself too, in order to know what type of friends should be in your life at this time.
And how you can show up as a friend. Like how I said, like I'm one person that I'm able to be transparent about what space I'm in, and I accept it. Like that sometimes I might not be the best friend that somebody can need. I'm not the best shoulder to cry on sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know me, and I know that I keep people around me that understand that that's the space that I'm in. I think along with knowing yourself is being open and willing to grow, and understanding that growth is essential in your relationships. Something I might be lacking, you may be good in as a friend, and something that she may be lacking, I might be good in. And it's like she said, like I'm not able to communicate effectively. Like, and for me, I'm a communicator. I'm big on why you feeling that way, why you acting that way towards me. Like, you know, like I don't like how you handled me during this time or during this. I'm very much a communicator, something that I've learned. But somewhere where she's lacking, I can be more access to it. So if we're having an issue, let's just say if we have an issue, I'm aware that she's not a good communicator. So I might come to her. Listen, like I know this isn't going right in our relationship, so how can we fix it? You know what I mean? Like you have to put in the same amount of work that you would put in if you found out she insists. Period.
And then going back to when you have space with certain people, when y'all grow distant of each other, at what point do you think it's appropriate to ever try to rekindle it? Like, would you ever try to rekindle any of like your old relationships? I mean, we're a living example, right here. So, fun fact: this is literally
the first time
link up
that we've met.
And how many years?
A good like
I want to say like 4, 5,
yeah, 4 or 5.
6.
The girls are 5. So yeah, maybe like 5.
Like 5 or 6 years. And I think we both agreed that when we look back at our friendship, it was nothing that was like, she fucked me over, or she ain't support me, or she just a fucked up individual and I don't want nothing to do with her. Nothing like that happened. I think it was more so just we all was growing. Like we was literally in college, young as hell, everybody living their own lives, doing crazy shit, and literally we both in a developing space right now. So I feel like it's appropriate to rekindle.
I feel like that's when it's appropriate. That's when it's most appropriate. When people are open, willing, and not like able to be accountable. Like both of us, we both had a conversation off air, obviously, but we both kind of were accountable for where either of us could have went wrong in where our relationship, you know, we separated as friends or whatever. You know, like we were both able to apologize about where either of us felt that we could have showed up better or we could have done things better.
Or when you think, sorry, not to cut you off, when you think about it, like, could she have felt some way because it went like this? Or could I have felt some kind of way because it went like this? Like, you gotta realize that sometimes how people perceive something is not how you saw it.
Right.
And I think we definitely came together on perception.
When you're willing to accept that, you know, people are in different spaces, and take accountability and take, you know, stock and inventory of your friendships, and the fact that you really do need good people around you. And when two people come together and they're in that space to be accountable and grow and really just like take a relationship to just new levels, like I think that makes all the difference in not only a friendship but a relationship. So closing out this episode on the Glow Up, I want to thank Miss Kay for coming out. This is, like we said, our first encounter back together. We are going to close out the episode with the part of the engagement part. And in this part, I'm going to ask you 3 questions from 3 different categories. You're going to pick a number from 1 to 10. You had no idea this was happening. She had no idea this was happening.
Okay.
So you're going to pick a number from 1 to 10.
All right.
Pick a number.
7.
7. I asked this question before.
All right. 5.
No. 5? All right, so 5. So we have a what if category, have you ever category, and to be or not to be category. I don't know if somebody did 5. So the what if category, you're not supposed to look. The what if category is, what if you drive by a domestic situation? You hopping out? Is you hopping out?
Sorry. Back in 1980, 1970, 1960, I probably would have hopped out. In 2023, I'm not getting killed over nobody crazy baby dad trying to kill them over. I'm sorry. I'm not. If you a stranger and y'all out there praying, I'm not hopping out.
Okay, that was an answer. Listen, the real, the raw, and the truth.
It's 2023.
I agree. Listen, 2023 is a lot of shit going on. Stop looking.
Okay.
Have you ever category? Number 5. Have you ever smacked the bullshit out of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Why? My questions always be like that.
Yes.
Like, I think one question, the number is like, all of the questions are sex oriented. Then this one is like domestic shit.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, we all been in crazy relationships. I mean, some crazier than the others, but I've been in some real crazy relationships in my past. And it was times where I had to slap niggas.
How hard you saying it?
Hard, to the point where he had a black eye. I probably had a couple scratches too at the end of it. But yes, it was a time I had to slap somebody.
This is to make them back to his mama house. Look, okay. To be or not to be, number 5. To be loved and complacent, or to be looking for love. So my girl is engaged.
Yes.
Be apart. So this question might be throwing you through a loop.
Yeah. Bitch, I'm just in love and that's it. Like, it's nothing else. Like, no other options here. I'm just in love and that's it. Give me something else.
Alright, what you read number 7 already?
I didn't.
To bring someone back from the dead. I did that one. Let's do.
Or receive $1 million. Bitch, I'm taking $1 million.
Okay, so number 7 was to bring so number 3. Number 7 was to bring someone back from the dead or to receive $1 million.
I think I'm a little biased in this, only because
let's just say it's hot as shit in here. This light is beaming.
it is. I'm biased in this because I never lost like my grandparents yet. Like they still alive. Like I never lost a mom or a dad. I never lost a sibling. I never lost a best friend. So like it's kind of different for me because now I just think the people that I know that's dead, they probably that was God's plan. Like they did because they did. But if I had like a grandparent, they did because they did. Like
yeah. She don't.
The $1 million.
She's trying to buy a house. That's why she did it.
Listen, no shame because again, like I said, I would probably answer this question really different if I had a best friend or a grandparent or something that passed. I would answer this different and say I want to talk to my grandma. Like you know what I mean? I want to talk to my best friend. Mm-hmm. But because I never experienced that close of a loss, I want the $1 million.
And that's understandable. That's respectable. Well, that concludes the engagement part of the Glow Up podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode about friendship with my girl, Key. If you haven't already, make sure you stop by our website, amongstLove.com, to connect with me, Glow, in multiple different ways. So make sure you tap in. Stay tuned for the visuals on the Glow Up on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you congratulate my girl. Period. Mm-hmm. Love you. Thank you so much for coming on the Glow Up. I appreciate you. And stay tuned. We'll be back next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.